through then, I actually fell in love with the concept of data and data analytics, which is why even on a personal level, when I decided to pursue my studies, I finished my first degree as a computer scientist. And because of my passion for data, I looked around what is the industry that has the largest amount of data that I could feed on. Back then, and still is, the financial industry, because we have huge data sets of volumes, volatilities, prices, market depths, etc. So I decided to move more towards financial engineering and computational finance. But most of the models that I've worked on, they were either AI or data-driven. I am a firm believer that data is the new fuel of the 21st century. The question is always how to come up with the right combustion engine that will actually give you the most out of the data that you are processing. And data is really and truly a new asset class that has value embedded to it. And the question is, how will you get the best out of that value to create the most positive impact possible? And this is what we do at Six Capital. Through a range of products that us as Six Capital are offering, we are a data-driven company. We look at the data and we try to extract the value from the data. And very quickly and briefly going through some of our offerings, B-Data looks at the data of actual traders and creates positive trading strategies and positive yields through the data that is generated by an army of traders that are actually constantly trading the market. Scheduit, for example, completely non-financial product, but looks at the interaction data between users and the networking habits and the networking activities of users. And we're building a kind of social capital or social reputation of users through the process of the maximization of their potential time, which leads them to meet with other people through social discovery. Vision Alpha, which is a system that marries training with an actual trading insight analysis, and we extract the insights from the trader behavior, and we actually perform, like Chief Patrick Tang said in the first talk, we perform an analysis process that gets value out of the insights that the traders are actually inputting to the system, and I'll elaborate on this in further slides. Also, we have BioPay and Nusa Health, which looks at the healthcare data of the community of users that are using the app. From that, I'll move very quickly, and I know we don't have a lot of time because time is pressing, but I really want to highlight the impact of blockchain and the future implications of the use of blockchain, or the positive future implications of using blockchain. Blockchain, in a nutshell, is an automated open source ledger whereby every single transaction is registered securely and safely on a chain that is distributed around computers that are all over the world. When I try to explain blockchain in general, I always use the analogy of the internet. If we think about the internet, for example, TCP/IP as a protocol existed for almost 30 years before the rise of the internet. It wasn't until one invention that was introduced to the world that took the internet, or catapulted the internet, to a completely different level and took it to the mainstream. And that invention was simply the browser. Because now, through the browser, we can actually access information, we can seek information, we find a very easy way to look up information and try to find the right information and seek the right information from the sources that we believe are offering that right information. So it has democratized information. So information which historically has been controlled by very few, media entities, governments, whatever. Now information is on this World Wide Web, and the process is completely democratic and any person is free to go and access any type of information that they want to consume. For blockchain is a very similar situation. I mean, blockchain was written in around 2008 by Satoshi Nakamoto, if he actually exists, still a code name for this person that wrote the very first blockchain paper. And since then, not much has happened in terms of innovation. We know that blockchain is the future, but the browser moment for blockchain is the introduction of a marketplace whereby digital and physical assets can be transacted openly and freely. So we can have asset-backed digital currencies that are floating on blockchain-based marketplaces. We can actually tokenize, like Chief Patrick said earlier, any asset that we own, whether that asset is an intellectual property or a smart contract or actual currency or a property that we own. So the creation of a blockchain-based marketplace is going to be the future for blockchain. And us as SIXCAP, we are pushing for all these innovative ideas and pushing for all these innovative propositions through our development process. Currently in our development stack, we're actually looking at blockchain as a project that we want to implement sooner than later. The technology is there. It's just a matter of implementing it through our partners that we have identified. But what are we bringing as SIXCAP? As SIXCAP, we are really and truly bringing power to the people by harnessing the data that the people are generating, data that is generated by users, by communities, and there's a lot of untapped value and untapped potential in that data. Because through the data that we're generating, through the behavior that we're exhibiting, we can actually optimize a lot of processes out there to make our life much better. We want to create, or we are creating solutions that are easy to use, faster to execute, and we want to create positive social impact through the innovative products that we are developing. One of my favorite quotes on innovation is that an innovation will get traction only if it helps people get something that they are already doing in their lives and make it done better. And that's what we want to do. We want to make people's lives better through innovation. This leads to many opportunities that are out there. I'll go through them very quickly, but just to give you an example, are using mobile money accounts to pay each other, whether it's the greengrocer or a government ticket or a bill, through airtime. And the innovation that this led to is that it has reached people who are unbanked. More than 2.5 billion people at the moment in the world, they do not even have access to the banking infrastructure. Through technologies like these and through innovation, we can actually reach to every one of them. In fact, the GDP of Kenya shot by almost 13% since they started implementing M-Pesa. At the moment, there are 16 countries in Africa where more people have mobile money accounts than people with bank accounts. So the opportunities are immense, and we are connecting people as communities more than ever before. So what is next for traditional financial sector? The traditional financial sector has to understand that we need collaboration, not competition. Banks might disappear soon, or probably half of the world's banks might disappear in less than 20 years. The very few, or the other half, which I hope are the forward-thinking banks, will have to reinvent their entire model and understand that even though they are obsolete, the banks still have the two most valuable assets: the customers and the data. However, the banking model has to change in such a way to become more of a financial app store. Think about it like a Play Store or an iTunes, where it hosts all these innovative apps or innovative fintech products that are being produced by much more agile, better, faster, and more efficient companies. These are initiation options to give life to the potential upcoming Internet of Things revolution, when all the devices that we are going to use and devices that we have are going to be connected to the internet via IP address. So the main, or one of the main takeaways is that we actually need to change and need to actually accept and embrace change. Because if you ask people about change, everyone will be pro-change. But if you actually practically try to change people, there will be very resistance to that. One example that I want to give very quickly, and I know I don't have a lot of time, is the Vision Alpha project and how are we using, or how we are using our Hippo Rice Bowl engine to harness the insights from alpha traders. Hippo Rice Bowl is our artificially intelligent backend that is applicable to financial data, it's applicable to telecom data, it's applicable to transport data. And one of the ways we're using that is that we're looking at the insights that are being generated from our alpha traders, and as they're trading the markets or as they're giving us insights, we're ranking these traders depending on how they perform well at which market conditions. We are leveling them, giving them various levels, because we have some that are giving us much more valuable insights than others. And on top of all of that, and with the fact that Chief Patrick mentioned earlier that we're actually awarding these alpha traders, even though they're not risking any money in the markets, with a monetary trading award, we're harnessing these insights and we're creating an artificially intelligent alpha bot which will mimic the behavior of the best traders at each specific market condition. So it will learn from the behavior of the trader at a specific market condition. Let's say the market is currently trending up. It will look at what would the top performing traders do when the market is trending up. It will look at the most recent ones and it will mimic the behavior of these particular traders. In a way, we have created the world's first crowdsourced algorithmic trading model that actually, instead of looking at the market signal and try to forecast future outcomes, it will look at the behavior of these traders and will use their insights in order to place positions. The good news is that the alpha bot at the moment, or our AI trading bot, is outperforming almost all the human traders that are currently trading the markets, because it is not emotional, it's faster, much more efficient, it has access to larger data sets that are physically possible by humans. This is a global change that is happening, and we are very happy and very honored to be sharing some of our innovation with a great country like Indonesia. In fact, we are extremely honored and humbled to be a part of the process of making this great country even greater through the innovation that we are pushing and through the initiatives that we are pushing here in Indonesia. So at SIXCAP, we believe that fintech, or financial technology, or technology and innovation in general, will democratize finance in the same way the internet democratized information. Thank you very much for listening. And by the way, if any of you wants to network with me or ask me any questions after this, please reach out to me on Scheduit, which is the official networking app for the conference. Find me there, and please just request a meeting, and I'll be very happy to answer all your questions. Thank you very much.
Dr. Kablan.